welcome to Vamps and Vagrants, our online tabletop roleplay of the Curse of Strahd, Dungeons & Dragons. I'm Paige, your dungeon mom, and I'm joined, as always, by my closest friends and family. First up, we have Kelly, who plays Hugo.
Yo!
Hello. I'm also joined by Colin, who plays Revlin.
Hey.
Hey! I've got Wesley, who plays Benvo.
You saved the wine.
Joined by Victoria, who plays Rapture.
Welcome to my home.
And I'm joined by Sarah, who plays Peepers.
It's a good blade!
Oh, that's right. Kayleen, who plays the newly met Meridel, will be joining us shortly. But otherwise, let's jump into it. So, last week, the Avengers, you traveled from the Wizard of the Wines winery down in the southwest corner of Markovia up towards the small town of Kresk, where after a small trial proving your humanity, you were allowed entry. Not before noticing that your newly appointed comrade, Meridel, seems to lack the ability to bleed when cut by a blade. So, upon some conversation in a tiny little home, she explained that she was turned into a werewolf many years ago and has learned to control it to a certain extent. You all agreed seemingly to trust her for now and reprioritized again with the intention to meet the abbot and learn of his holy abilities. Like the ability to create water, potentially.
Sorry, I'm really thirsty. I muted myself.
Stay hydrated, everybody. All you 2019 snorers out there.
Hope is my sweat
The only
water.
great restoration.
So we are gonna pick up. You're all currently huddled in a small commune of a home, owned by, I forget the woman's name, but I remember her daughter's name is Gwen Sensi, because that name is very memorable.
Hello.
Did anyone write?
Wasn't it like... Oh, it was something...
The dad's name was Jericho.
Jericho.
It was Jericho.
No, it was like Jerko, but
Oh, Jericho. Did anyone write
we
that?
ended up saying it like Jericho.
Yeah, we were all downstairs and he comes in and says, hanging out.
You're a bitch. Ah, man. Real life memories. And I believe Hugo may have let slip that Meridel was a werewolf quite loudly, if I remember.
Absolutely.
But let's pick up there. I know there was some mention of going straight to the abbot, but let's see what the Avengers want to do next.
Well,
Let's go
before
straight
we
to the Abbot.
before we tell anyone else any dark secrets, I think we should probably leave.
That tracks.
Also, I want to get this next piece of the puzzle on how to kill Strahd. The sooner the better.
I concur.
Hugo, that's a good word.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know where I learned it, but
Well, I'm very
it's like the best word I know.
glad.
He couldn't say the word proud. He couldn't say proud. Proud, Dad. Be proud.
I clap Hugo on the shoulder. Hugo, I'm proud of you, son.
Goals.
Was that really
These are
said?
my goals.
No, no,
I was like, can people write that shit down or no?
no. Peepers does not get that.
I would love to do that, but I
I'm
will.
very proud of you, son.
I'm very proud of you, son. Just with every stranger I ever meet.
So you're about to get to like a quota where as you start to learn new phrases, you'll have to choose which ones to get rid of, okay?
What's my cap?
I'd say 20.
Damn. Okay, I can already cut off some I don't like.
Well, you're not at 20 yet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just keep that in mind. You're gonna start getting to a point where you don't have like ultimate recall to say everything. You know, there's some...
Damn.
I gotta keep you quiet sometimes, you know?
I'm so quiet.
Just a challenge. You picked the Kenku, not me.
Challenge.
All right, so you all want to head towards the Abbey?
Yeet.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Absolutely.
Get
I
out.
see what you did there.
Oh no. It was good. I gotta say it was good. Okay.
Thank you. I love a good dad joke.
All right. So as you leave the home of, oh, your neck, Kayleen.
Yeah.
Just like the bathroom is really
The bathroom's a horror place.
Oh no. It's like when I came over and put red face paint all over my body.
Oh
Or
no.
worse.
Oh. You weren't there for the cleanup. I tried to hide it. I was like, oh god, oh god.
Yeah, this stuff only comes off with 100% acetone. So
Oh, yeah, that's worse. That's
okay, not entirely
He's
true,
used
but
bathroom cleaner.
Oh, that's bad. It bad, it me. Okay, so as you leave the small home, I think the phrase I was looking for, did I find it?
Hovel.
Hovel.
commune.
Yeah. Remember how I was like looking for a solid 5 minutes on like all of my extra notes? It's in the goddamn book. I found like all this extra materials and it was just in the book. But what you begin to notice as you start to walk through town, following the peak of the hill that Crest kind of sits on top of, the Abbey being closer to the true peak of the mountain, you're following that direction, and as you look to either side of you, you can see the houses are very modest. They are small cottages with mainly a wooden frame and some stone for roofing. And because of the cold temperature up here in the mountains of Barovia, even the pigs, chickens, sheep, and like even hares are kept indoors to stay warm so they don't freeze. So although they do allow some small hours to graze, they are brought into the home to keep warm in the night because there's not enough space to keep them besides that. So very modest living. As you're walking by, you can see that a few people a few people within Crest, you can see they are working in a small patch of the forest. Seems to be cutting down their own lumber and providing it for the for a neighbor. And as the home that Meredale is staying in is close to the center of town, and she begins to walk you down a path that heads directly north, closer to the summit that is the working your way up to the Abbey. And a few minutes into your walk, you pass by what looks to be a body of water, very small within the walls of Kresk, and it looks to be a small pool of still water. And there seems to be like a gazebo structure in front of it, and a figure is crouched in front of it.
A human figure or like a statue?
Well, roll a perception check, peepers.
16.
16. So, peepers, as you're walking up, you can see the pool at the north end of the village shimmers and sparkles. Near its shore sits the old gazebo I mentioned, and it seems to be on the verge of collapse. There is a wooden statue of a mournful, bare-chested man, its paint chipped and faded. It stands in the gazebo with its arms outstretched, though waiting to be embraced. And in front of that structure, that statue, seems to be a humanoid figure on their knees.
I want to walk over to it and see if I can maybe recognize this figure from a story I've seen, or...
I will actually, as you're all approaching, I'm going to actually have Ben Volm roll a religion check for me.
This is something that I do, maybe. 16.
It doesn't take close inspection for you to identify the symbols in the image. This is a direct correlation to Lathander and what Barovians consider the Morning Lord. And as you notice, as you walk up to the structure, its arms outstretched, the statue seems to be pointing east.
I sort of kneel and put my shield in front of me for a second before I motion for us to continue on the way that the statue is pointing.
You can see as you... I'm sorry, what
Oh,
where
pointing
physically...
east as in, like, that's where the dawn
Yeah.
is?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You-
Gotcha, not like pointing where the... okay, cool.
We can see the Abbey ahead of us. And we just go.
He's like,
I think that's the way.
that's me! Hello! No, it's signaling towards the sun, toward the
Gotcha.
rising of the dawn.
I get it now.
You can see, Peepers, as you said you were approaching first, you can see the figure that's cloaked and kneeling in front of the statue seems to be a much older, elderly woman.
Ooh, 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 ooh. I like
Is this
that.
card number 3, guys?
We don't know. We don't know. I'll kind of stand next to her and just bow my head. And as I bow my head, I'll try to make peeks out of the corner of my eye to see if I recognize any other distinguishing traits about her. Like, I don't know.
Roll an insight check.
20. Not 16.
Okay. Her clothes are plain and modest. Definitely heavily clothed to stay warm. So she seems to look like a settler here in Kresk. But you can look, even when you peek to the side and look over at her, you can see that she is clearly distraught.
She's upset.
Yes.
I am Kavad, the Bloodseeker.
No, this is hard. I'm trying to.
The rest of you are all here as well.
Is she like visibly upset enough that we who are not like peeking glances at her would notice?
If you're looking at the back of her, she is still. She's not making movements. It'd be hard to discern. It almost looks like she's praying.
Yeah.
Like, anyone could see that she seems to be praying, but the emotional state might be hard to gauge unless you actually interact.
I'll turn to her and say, I said, who goes there? Yeah.
You'll see her kind of startle, and she'll look over at you, and even kneeling, she's above your eye level, Peepers. And you'll see her clear her throat. This is the morning, Lord.
I'll point to her and I said, who goes there?
I'm sorry, our friend literally is a person of few words. He's just wondering, what's your name?
Ryza.
Ryza. You pray to the morning lord?
Today I do. And she looks at you, Benvolm. Are you from the Abbey?
No, but that's where we're headed, and I hope to find someone of like mind there.
If you could tell the abbot to help find my grandson, that would be wonderful. You see her try to turn and kind of make some prayers towards the statue again.
Who is your grandson? Has he gone missing?
He's not... Well... My grandson, we lost him several years ago to consumption. But, it was about a week ago we found his remains were turned over. And I've been praying to the Morning Lord ever since to return him to peace.
Were his remains taken?
Yes. His grave was completely empty when we found it in the morning.
And it's a grave sin. Where is this graveyard?
In Kresk, we all take responsibility for our own dead, so we honor them within the home or outside of it. Without going into too much explanation, in the culture of Kresk, with the modest living, family burials are done in the backyard pretty much. So as you're walking by, you would see modest headstones behind most of the small cottages in Kresk. I prayed to the Morning Lord when I lost my husband, and when I lost my son, and now my grandson, and I was able to take the disruption of their graves, but my grandson, he was a good boy, and things need to change. It is not right. It is not right that we live like this.
Does this happen often?
Yes. Too often.
Do you have any idea who or what would desecrate the graves?
This has been happening for years, and in Kresk, no one leaves or enters. It is very rare we get outsiders. So it has to be happening. Someone here has to be doing it.
Maybe it takes an outsider to shine light on it. We will talk to the abbot, but I would also like to help you.
As would I.
Thank you.
That's what I.
Thank you so much. You'll help us. You'll help find him and bring him back to peace.
On my honor.
We'll do what we can.
You see her pray towards the statue. Thank you. Thank you for answering my prayer.
I try to comfort her as I can, and then we'll continue to fulfill my promise to go up and talk to the abbot.
Before
I'll ask her real quick where her home is.
she'll with a frail finger, she'll kind of point a little out of the way that where you were coming from. She'll say, it is third house from the gate on the right hand side.
We will stop by once we've spoken with the abbot.
Thank you. Thank you so much. When if you ever need anything, this pool is blessed by Saint Markovia herself. It is a holy place, and it is special to drink from it.
It's good to know. Thank you.
I'm gonna put in my notebook and turn it to Ben Volm and say, "Can I take a bath in it?"
I would hold off on that, papers.
Okay, he adds more notes to his notebook.
A bird bath.
You got it. You get it. It's a bird bath.
The pool actually.
That's my bit, guys. Have a good night.
The pool is actually quite large, and even though the gazebo is pretty small and definitely decaying with age, the pool itself is still water, and it's roughly the size of a swimming pool. It's pretty large, actually. So it's not like a fountain. It's much more grander, and it seems completely natural. There's nothing besides the gazebo. There's nothing man-made that distinguishes it from like the trees and the forest around it.
Can I use divine sense to see if it is consecrated?
The pool?
Yeah.
What's consecrated mean?
Like blessed or has some kind of holy imbuement.
Yeah, so with your divine sense, you can see that this old lady's perhaps superstitions are not exaggerated. The pool seems to have some divine touch to it, beyond human explanation.
I kneel down a minute and pray to Lathander and reach down with something clean that I have on me, like a cup or something like that.
Do you have an adventurer's pack?
Yes.
You'd have like a
Or do I have adventures or explorers?
explorer's pack. Sorry, I use different. It's the same thing. You wouldn't have necessarily. It's like not a flask. What's the phrase? But it's something to carry water in.
I have a
Canteen?
priest pack.
Canteen. I'm sorry,
I have
a priest pack.
pack.
A water skin.
Yeah, you'd have a water skin though. Still.
All right. We'll put a little in and take a sip from it.
Benville, when you take a drink out of the pool, it is extremely sweet and fresh to the taste. You feel energized and awoken. Give me 1 second. Is there anything currently... Do you have any current disease
Well, now you don't.
or condition? Are you... Nothing like that,
I
right?
don't think so.
All right. So in theory, you would have just been blessed by a lesser restoration spell, drinking from this water.
Gotcha.
We don't know that.
I feel energized. Yeah, that's just diseases and stuff. Yeah, and my curse is gone anyway. So.
That's a greater restoration only or remove curse, but
Yeah.
good question. Yeah, just a condition or a disease. Poison, deafened, paralyzed.
Could you tell the party about it so that we could get some water?
I feel invigorated. Like a fog has lifted, like if I had just come into the dawn out of a sickness and then suddenly feel restored, like everything is right in the world again.
Peepers will dump his water skin and take a little sip.
You'd feel a similar feeling, a lightness.
Yay! I fill my canteen up.
Okay.
I don't believe in that shit. I'll pass.
Wait till you get poisoned, bitch.
I guess I'll fill my canteen as well.
Okay.
Rapture takes a little baby sip.
Rapture, you would also
Nothing
feel,
happens.
Revlin and Mariel are both doing that as well.
taking a sip or putting it into like a water skin.
Water skin.
You're not taking a sip though?
I'll take a sip, but also fill up my water skin.
I will not.
You're muted.
I heard her though. I heard her through your mic. She's not going to take a sip, but she's going to fill her water skin. So just to be clear, Hugo and Meridel aren't drinking it. Hugo's not taking it. Meridel's filling up her water skin. Everyone else has taken a sip and filled their water skin, right?
Correct.
All right. Everyone, just notate right down that your flask is filled with the pool from the Shrine of the White Sun.
Do you think that's like holy water? Like, is it similar to holy water?
Componently it's different, but
Okay. I have a flask of holy water as well.
The Temple of the White Sun.
the Shrine of the White Sun. Meridel, you would have heard some of the locals mentioning this shrine. Whether or not you were curious to explore it yourself is completely up to you. But you'd also heard tell that in very few and rare occasions, some of the villagers can recall seeing the abbot in white robes coming down from the abbey and praying in front of the shrine, and then returning back up towards the abbey. Is there anything else you guys would like to do at the shrine, or do you plan to continue towards the Abbey of St. Markovia?
I would give Riza a hug around her leg if she would let me.
Yeah, after she takes a few minutes to stand up from the kneeling position, she would pat your head and she'd say, "Thank you, sweet bird."
Thank you, sweet Clark.
Sarah's habit of repeating everything someone says.
What else can I do?
Anything else, everybody? Okay. The goal is still to continue on towards the Abbey, up on the hillside to the right of you. You'd follow the path, and you would see above, as the mountain continues to rise, hundreds of feet above Kresk, you can see the walls still envelop the Abbey on either side of it, protecting it within the walls of Kresk. And beyond you is a winding road. The switchback road hugs the cliff, and as you begin to actually get onto the cliffside and begin to work your way up, you can see that the path itself is 5 feet wide, or 10 feet wide, and covered with loose gravel and chunks of broken rock. Your ascent is slow and somewhat treacherous. I need everybody to make a general acrobatics or athletics check for me.
$18 for me.
18.
24 for peepers.
Okay.
20, 22.
Okay.
21.
Victoria, I didn't hear yours. I'm sorry.
9.
Okay. You all, although it is treacherous, you're all able to kind of in single file work your way up the hillside. It seems to double back on itself a couple times as it winds up and then turns back around up the hill further. You can see you're getting, you're approaching closer. And as you climb higher, you can also feel the air growing colder. Considering the cold environment and the fact that we don't have winter clothes, I need everybody to make some constitution, just do constitution checks, not saving throws for me.
$17.
Okay.
14.
Okay.
9.
Okay.
19.
Okay.
4.
Okay.
Natural 1.
All right.
4.
Meridel, Hugo, and Benvolm. You didn't anticipate how cold the mountaintops have become with the wind. Hugo especially, considering the lack of clothing.
Naked.
You're starting to freeze. It's a slow process, but over time it's going to slow your movement, and it's going to affect certain types of ability checks. So that's something we need to...
But I was wearing my winter metal shirt.
Oh.
I was wearing my winter birthday suit.
As of right now, it's only slowing your movement about 5 feet. But there will be continued constitution checks to see how the rest of the party maintains the cold.
Eek.
Okay. So, after about an hour and a half, 2 hours of climbing, several hundred feet into the mountainside, you can see the road from the village has now climbed above the mist to what is a wide ledge on which the Abbey seems to be perched on this mountainside. It is rocky and cold. A light dusting of snow has even covered the trees and the rocky earth at your feet at this point. The gravel road passes between 2 small stone outbuildings, to either side of which stretches a 5-foot-high, 3-foot-thick wall of jumbled stones held together with mortar. Blocking the road are iron gates, attached to the outbuildings by rusty hinges. They appear to be unlocked as you approach. Viewed through the gates, the stone abbey stands quiet. Its 2 wings are joined by a 15-foot-high curtain wall. A belfry protrudes from the rooftop of the closer north wing, which also sports a chimney billowing gray smoke.
Hello? We're here to see the Abbot.
With a start behind the wall, as Hugo calls out in the eerie silence on the hilltop, you hear a few figures kind of jolt behind the gate. You can hear, maybe even now you didn't realize it until Hugo called out, but it sounds like the sound of somebody snoring potentially, and rousing themselves and stumbling forth to confront the noise on the other side of the gate. And what appears to be two hooded figures, shorter, humanoid. And as they kind of approach the iron gate in front of you, you can see they are odd looking, facially. You look at one, one stands to be maybe like 4'9", and the other 4'7", shorter than the natural human. And they both seem to kind of squat and kind of lean over themselves. One looks to look like a beardless dwarf. And you see him kind of groggily look over, and as he pokes himself out of his hood, you can see his nose almost looks like a snout. What is that? He kind of like jolts away and looks across the iron fence.
Hello, we're the Revengers. We've come to meet with the Abbot.
You can see the other hooded figure leans over to the side of the wall and seems to pick up a shovel and hold it defensively.
We mean you no harm.
You see the other one. What did he say? He's like, he wants to see the Abbot. And you'll see him kind of lower it. All right, okay. And you'll see him open the door, and as you kind of approach, Roland, make a perception check for me.
Cool. Cool. That is an 8.
All right. The time is roughly at this point. It's getting into the late afternoon, evening. So, Barovia, it's starting to get dark. As the figure who didn't clutch the shovel, the one who first appeared on the other side of the gate, approaches the gate and starts to unhinge it and open it. You can't tell, but when he reaches out, his hand looks to be discolored. Maybe he's wearing gloves or something, but his right hand seems to look green as he opens it. But you can't see much more than that as the door opens.
Does Peeper don't trust these motherfuckers at all.
Yeah, so you said snout-like. Do they look like any sort of humanoid that we're familiar with?
From here with they definitely don't look normal.
Okay. I'll go forward with this for now.
Okay. I'll have, just because everyone's clearly on their toes, and I know we're going to want to address some more. Everyone besides now Revlin, who already roll a perception check for me, as these two figures have presented themselves. And you seem to have startled them away on their guard.
19.
Okay.
16.
7.
5.
Would I be smelling or hearing them?
You can hear them.
What about smell?
You can smell them too, but depending on your roll, because you're rolling with advantage, I imagine.
Yes, that was my question.
Your perception check is going to be based on those traits, not on the sight of them. So
cool. Then I'm going to make it based on scent, baby.
Okay.
Oh wait, I had 8.
Okay.
Buffy's on my shoulder.
So a total of 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
A 9.
Okay, so besides Benvol's 19,
Switching out the d20.
did anyone roll above like a 15 besides
I did.
19? You
16.
did? Okay. Benvom, you also appraise the first figure, the one who's reaching towards the door. And you can see his face, though cloaked on top. He kind of looks like a beardless dwarf, as I started to mention, but you can see there's patches of his skin that seem to be uneven and furry. And the one hand that reached out seems to be like almost like a lizard, like scaly. And then Peepers, the other one who grabbed the shovel, you can see he's putting the shovel down. As he turns and kind of looks at you all, you can see he has a dog nose. Human eyes, a dog nose. He doesn't have his cloak up, and you can see he has a human ear, but when he turned to put the shovel down, the other ear seems to be like a wolf ear.
Some Frankenstein.
And then
shit.
on top of that, like, his legs are not human at all. They look to be like leonine. Like, they seem like wolf legs, and he even has a tail poking out of his clothes in the back.
Divine sense. Is he fiend, fae, celestial, or undead?
Divine sense?
Yeah.
He is not fiend, fae, celestial, or undead.
I'm gonna ready my dagger to throw it at these fuckers. I'm like staring them. I don't trust anything they're fucking doing.
Okay, the door's open.
I walk right in. I ain't giving a fuck.
Yeah, I'll be with Hugo. I don't
They
care
little
either.
motherfuckers. Good.
And then,
Revelin will follow behind.
okay. The three.
Do they do anything when the people pass by them? Like, do they reach for their belt or like?
No, when the three start to walk forward, you can see the one holding the gates holding it open. It is rusty, and you can see that it looks like he's almost holding it up out of fear that if he lets go, it's going to snap off the hinges. So you can see he's almost holding it up. And the other one seems to be sitting there kind of like gruff. And he's like, go good, and he's like sitting there, waiting for you all to enter.
Can I look around and see if there's any like dug up graves?
Well, considering you already rolled a perception check and it was pretty poor, I'm going to say you do not detect anything else besides the appearance of the two individuals.
Okay.
16.
Yep.
Which way to the abbot, little man?
He kind of looks up at you. Bring you to the courtyard.
The what? Speak up.
Bring you to the courtyard!
What is wrong with you?
Hey, Hugo. Not everyone can speak
There's
as eloquently as
something-
you.
There's something wrong with you. Are you okay?
What's wrong
Do you
with
need
you?
help?
What's wrong with you? Why are you looking at me like that?
You look ill.
You look ill. You're green.
I know, I'm sickening.
You
Alright.
see a muffled people judging me all the time.
I'm not judging you. I'm just making sure you're okay.
People come to see the abbot judging me all the time. Just trying to keep my watch. Just trying to take some sleep.
Okay, go back to sleep, little man. It's all good. Alright. Let's get this over with, because... Yeah. Let's go.
Are the rest of you following? I only heard 3 people who were willing to...
Are both these gatekeepers with us the whole time, like on this walk, or is one staying?
Well, I haven't heard if we're continuing forward.
Maridel is.
Yes.
I walk past and say good mornings to you.
You can see the other one kind of chirps up and he says, "It's evening, but good morning to you too."
Alright. I guess plural versus not plural.
Peepers is gonna follow, but he's gonna try to find hiding spots along the way and like peek out and see what they're doing, and then find another hiding spot.
Okay.
Rapture follows Peepers.
Just kind of trails
bush
along
to
and by
bush.
No, but like as he hides, she'll just like walk and then watch him where he's hiding.
Okay, so...
And then just wait for him to come out and then continue to follow him until she's just kind of like walking and stopping.
Peeper,
And walking and
roll a
stopping.
stealth check with disadvantage.
Fucking A, man. The 5 is the lower one. For a stealth, you said?
Yes.
15.
You have a plus 10 to your stealth.
I'm a rogue.
That's amazing.
I do a couple things good.
She is so
Okay,
bad
hold
right
on.
now.
That's not normal. That's really good for stealth.
It's a plus 10 because of my expertise.
Alrighty. So as you continue into, like, through the gate, you can hear one of the guys closes the gate, and they both begin to follow you. One at the front, the one who seems to be a little bit more chipper. The other one who is kind of gruff, is in the back, and they begin to lead you towards the Abbey. You can see now as you've all entered, directly to the right there seems to be a graveyard. I know you're asking about that.
Does it look dug up?
So you can see that there are a few stunted pine trees to the right, near the foundation of the Abbey, so like you're getting up to the building. In the graveyard, you can see the windows of the structure of the graveyard itself are cracked panes of leaded glass. Ancient gravestones burst from a thin crust of snow in the yard. Beyond the low wall that surrounds the graveyard, the ground falls away. The village lies 400 feet below, and the view is breathtaking. So as you look out, you can see beyond, you can see below, but the graveyard seems to be intact at this distance.
Okay.
And
I'll put my hand off of my dagger and just...
Yeah, and perhaps as you're running, you'd probably hide near a gravestone and kind of shuffle back towards the group. Besides a few pine trees inside of the gates, there's not many places to hide.
That's fine. I was really just looking for a dug up graveyard, so...
Okay.
Feeling better.
Okay. So you can see, imagine, well, give me 1 second. I don't love giving you guys a map because suddenly it's like a to-do list and you guys want to unlock everything in it, but I'm not the best explainer of things, so. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. You're gonna see it start to reveal a lot soon.
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
Oh no, this sort of looks like that hill where we almost died.
Oh.
It's a trap.
It's a
We've been
trap.
catfished.
It's still Yesterhill.
Yester hill.
How funny would it be if I just repeated the same encounter?
Oh, I see their little icons.
Kill the wizards or kill the druids first this time.
Yeah.
We learned last time.
Those icons for the gatekeepers are fucked up, my dude.
My eye.
Do they have
Oh,
names?
boy.
They haven't loaded for me yet.
Oh, I don't love that.
Oh, cool. I hate them very much.
Oh wow, that's really personal.
That sounds like something Griffin McElroy would come. It
Yeah,
looked like
yeah.
something Griffin McElroy would come up with.
The boy for my nightmares.
More.
Justin, it's the boy. The boy for my dreams.
Sorry, it's just taking a really long time to reveal everything in sections.
You gotta hide everything from us.
Well, as soon as I start showing you squares, you're like, what's in that square? What's in that square? What's in that square? But, like, you as a character doesn't know that there's a square there.
This icon is like dogs are man's best friend, but what if they weren't? Like that is the drawing.
That's the whole source of these characters.
And then, I hate to do this again, but this is one of those maps, if you're looking at the grid, where the grid is 10 feet. Each square is 10 feet. If the figures didn't give it away with how small they were. So, let me get a second. Let me get you guys on here.
There's a way for you to manipulate that when you...
I'm not going to put you guys on here, because that's where it gets crazy. I need the visual.
There's a way for you to manipulate that in the settings of the page.
I'm sorry, what?
There's a way for you to manipulate what the squares represent if you go on the tab at the top and then click.
I understand that, but then everything's going to be scaled an additional 5 feet, and you're not getting the scale of it. So, like, if I'm cutting everything in half, then the room's half the size. So it's not gonna turn the grid now small 5. It's just gonna make the square equal to 5 feet. Okay. So they begin to walk you down the main path, heading east towards what looks to be the main entrance. So what you can see is that the Abbey on the outside, it looks to be made up of two separate wings. The wing that you've crossed, this here is the graveyard, and this is the wing you're passing, and then the other half of the wing is like over here. Can you see my little dot, even though it's grayed out underneath of it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they're walking you towards this door right here. Seems to be the main entrance.
Is this north, south, east, west?
Correct, yes.
Just a fun tip: you guys can draw a shape of a square equal to the 5 foot and use that as your place marker.
Do you want your marker? I can put it on
I didn't do that.
Do you want...
I made a little square. I did not draw the dick.
I can put you guys...
frame.
I can put you guys on there, just preventing the...
No, we don't need our people there.
The
It's
necessity
fine.
to move around was what I was trying to avoid. Okay. As you walk towards the entrance, you guys, I mean, is there things you guys want to do, or are you just following their lead?
I'm following your
Following
lead.
their lead's fine.
Okay. The Abbey entrance is as I mentioned earlier, a 15-foot high curtain wall, which joins the Abbey's two wings. As you're approaching, you can see there's some battlements at the top of this wall. And as you're approaching, it looks to have two guards standing at attention. Their features seem to be obscured by the mist and fog up at this level. Below them, set into the wall, is a pair of 10-foot tall wooden doors, reinforced with bands of steel. To the right of these doors, mounted on the wall, is a tarnished copper plaque.
I would read it, but apparently I can't read, so...
I will read it. Because I can read.
I concur with this.
Revlin, you can see the copper plaque reads the Abbey of St. Markovia, under which appears the words, "May her light cure all illnesses."
I read that out to Hugo. And I even sound out some of the smaller words.
Wait, girls can be saints?
Yes, Hugo. Well,
I thought this was a dude the whole time.
I hadn't thought to ask the gender, but yeah, looks like it's a woman.
Oh, sweet. Okay, cool. Let's go.
Okay.
Are the guards like people, or are they like just statues?
Roll a perception check.
Natural 20.
They're vampires.
Hugo, you discern that the figures at attention are a charade. They seem to be fake.
What?
You mean charade?
Charade.
Strahd.
What the? Doesn't it mean? Don't you mean charade?
No. What? No, Strahd. Anyway, so I go to like put my hand in through it. Then one of their, I go to punch one of them in the face.
No. You misunderstood.
Oh,
They're standing atop the wall. Like, there's a 15-foot wall with the doors in front of it, and above it, there's two guards standing above the door, like, as a battlement, like, on top. And you looked up and you saw those are fake. They're not within touch. They're not within reach.
oh! I thought they were like sitting next to the door. Okay.
You go, Mr. Fantastic.
Okay.
I tell Revlin, I go, I think there's some weird things going on here. I'm not talking about like the weird pig people either.
I think there's probably plenty of weirdness to go around, Hugo.
Okay.
But be careful.
Okay, I'm gonna be on guard slightly more than I was before. Less nonchalant about coming in here.
You can see the one in the back, as you've all approached the door, the one kind of scurries around you. And as he mumbles under his breath, you can see he struggles to open the heavy door, but it is unlocked. And as he begins to open it, you can hear him mumble, "Pig people judging me all the time." And the door will open. And beyond the doors, you'll see a foggy courtyard. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Da, 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 da. Oh, I gotta get my reveal button going. Da, 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 da.
I go over to that circle thing. I'm just kidding.
I hate when
What
you
the
do this.
fuck is that?
It me.
Are you guys looking at stuff? Crap, I didn't know if I hit everything.
Well, now I'm definitely looking.
Cool, that's great. Thanks, guys.
Sorry.
It's okay, it's my bad, I guess.
I don't see anything.
Do you?
But I don't see anything.
I also don't see anything.
I also don't know nothing.
Turns out what I was looking at was a well, maybe.
Alright, Colin, you big fucking liar.
Well,
He's trying.
I mean, there is a well.
Oh, Lord,
Paige just starts crying and you don't know how to handle it. I just have so much emotion.
Well, that thing looks weird.
Oh my god, this is
Stop paying
literally
attention to
this
it.
is literally why I hate Matt revealing. Because you guys, I have to spend 8 minutes revealing everything. He goes, "That I figured out everything. I know what's happening." Matt Mercer doesn't have to do this shit. He only has to throw up a map when it's battle time. Okay.
He tells stories with his words.
Well, sorry, I'm illiterate.
If we have the most Twitch subs, then we'll hire someone who will do this for you.
Oh, so we're replacing me.
No, someone who does the
Never.
Colonial Club. You'll do the DMing, and then they'll do like the moving the map around.
Like a manservant, like a Roll20 manservant.
I was thinking like a production coordinator, but 6 of 1 really.
It's basically the same thing.
I mean, as long as they're paid well. Call them what you want.
Oh, well, I was gonna go with intern, unpaid,
Oh, woof.
college
Better
credit
than
intern.
federal workers are paid.
I was gonna say,
Alright, Colin. That was the most like your dad thing I've ever seen you do. That was eerie.
we have to pay our interns unless they're learning something, or we give them college credit.
was
I mean,
gonna
no,
say,
in real
this
life I
looks
would pay
different
all
from the
interns.
Abbey I come from. And look around. What do I see?
This written paragraph. Can you fill up my wine glass?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. I drink away the pain. The thick fog that fills this courtyard swirls.
Dog.
The thickums. The thick fog that fills this courtyard swirls, as if eager to escape. The courtyard is surrounded by 15-foot high curtain wall, on which stand several guards, which their backs to you, or so at first it seems. The rest of you now can see clearly that these guards are merely scarecrows, which Hugo, now lit on to Revlin, might have been a charade. Wooden doors to the north and east lead to the Abbey's 2 wings. In the center of a courtyard is a stone well fitted with an iron winch, to which a rope and bucket are attached. Along the perimeter, tucked under the hanging walls, are several stone sheds with padlocked wooden doors, as well as 3 shallow alcoves that contain wooden troughs. 2 wooden posts pounded into the rocky earth have iron rings bolted to them, and chained to one of them is a short humanoid with bat wings and spider mandibles. The quiet is shattered by horrible screams coming from the sheds.
Guys,
What the
this
fuck
isn't
did we
good.
do?
I draw my sword. The dawn comes.
This is not a
Flames.
holy place.
The abbot will be here shortly. If you just wait, the dawn will come. But patience is a virtue, I learned.
What is this, pig people?
Judging me all the time.
Are you being tortured? Did someone make you like this against your will?
I am beautiful.
You are beautiful, but were you born like this or were you made into this?
Are you born like this or are you made like this?
Are you mocking me?
Are you mocking me?
Are you truly one of
Are
those
you truly
people?
one of those people?
Hugo, I think he is mocking you.
I think he is mocking you.
Oh, now he's mocking you.
Oh, now he's mocking you.
All right.
Is he a kangaroo?
Can I try to stab this guy in the back?
No!
Yes.
We need a favor from the abbot!
Can I try to stop Beavers?
You see Beavers quietly draw his blade and start to walk towards one of them. Are you, Sarah?
No.
Sarah, are you really gonna stab him?
If no one fucking stops me, sure.
Stop him from stabbing
Yeah,
people. Things. Okay.
Evelyn's too horrified to see what's going on and is looking at the monstrosity that's chained up.
Alright. One more time. Fiend, celestial, undead, consecrated or desecrated areas.
Those
Or
are two
objects.
separate things, right?
Well, it's divine sense. I can sense any of that.
All at once. I think you have to choose one or the other. Is it consecrated, desecrated, or is it fiend, celestial, undead, or whatever the one I'm forgetting?
I don't think I have to choose.
Okay.
Let me see.
Pick the consecrated, desecrated one. This place is fucked up.
Within the
place is
same
fucked
radius,
up.
you also detect presence of any place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated, in addition to the fiend, celestial, or undead.
Yo, this place is fucking desecrated, bruh.
Oh, Jesus.
And the people, desecrated.
Does that mean like
We
they
can
got
kill them.
fucked with? What does that mean?
Yeah,
It
it
means
means
that
like
they
their
are
body.
not. It means that they are not how they were born naturally.
Oh my god, Gaga would have a meltdown.
I let the, I let
It's-
the flames grow bigger, and I say, "What happened here?" to one of the guys in Channel Divinity. I want him to answer me.
Okay.
So yeah, it adds +5 to persuasion roll.
Okay. Okay.
Wow, so good. Oh well, it's still not terrible, but
Oh wait, is there any female
17.
in this vicinity?
your team has.
Parts of it.
Besides
women.
ours,
Why, Kelly?
just cause.
There are parts of females, but I don't know if it's one whole female.
The one you called a pig face, that's talking about judging, is a female.
Ooh.
Are there any people in this area that look like Yetta?
Ouchie. Ouchie. 17 with all
Are you
the
saying
modifiers?
Yetta has been ripped apart and thrown back.
Oh no, Miss Tani.
They don't have a charisma modifier, but it's a tie. So I'm gonna say you're able to. It's a success, and you'll hear him say, "The male, the kinder one." He'll close the gate behind you, and as he approaches you, he'll say, "The abbot protects us, feeds us, keeps us safe."
Did the abbot make you?
You hear suddenly a bell tolling. You heard it when you were first approaching Kresk earlier in the day. But now as it grows into the later evening, as the bell tolls, you hear it chime once, and it rings out silently. And not even a moment before the bell can toll again, you can hear the cries erupt. And even you can hear voices from within the wings of the abbot start to cry out. And the woman who seems to be chained, the bat wings and the spider mandibles, you can hear her cry out in some inhumane word, but you hear distinguishable language from inside, and you can hear them screaming about dinner and feeding time.
Protects you from what?
You can see with the bell tolling, the two of them have grown distracted from the bell, and you can see one of them licks their lips. Give me 1 second, we'll get the abbot.
Did
You'll
they
see
start
them.
rolling?
One of them does with the dog snout.
Okay, I write some Pavlov shit down in my notebook. Move on.
Okay.
I grab him and say, "Protects you from what?"
And you'll see him bolt off and start running. You'll see him bolt off and start running towards the door. I'm sorry! Let me in! I'll get the abbot!
He's like a dog when their
Can I
owner
go
is
up to
home.
that female thing?
Hey, sexy lady.
Oh my god, he's like, I love you! As you begin to approach her, you'll see her try to pull away. Like, she'll back up from the chain. And she seems very scared of your approach. And as the chain grows taut, you can see her kind of keep her distance there, where it holds her.
I won't hurt you if you just be honest with us. Why are you chained up?
She seems to try to speak, but as she kind of looks towards you with like with fear in her eyes, as she turns, you can see her mouth isn't human. It seems to be spider mandibles and teeth. She isn't able to speak and respond to you.
Oh, good.
How far away is the guy I was talking to? Is he gone?
He's run off towards the this door here. Sorry, I'll move them. Oh, sorry. Let me put the. He's headed over. The two of them have headed to this door, and I would say you're like right by here. And now Hugo has headed over here.
Did you describe that these doors were locked? They had padlocks on them?
No, sorry. I can clear those. Those are empty. They're just kind of like guard towers where the the fake guards were standing on top. So it would have been like a fake guard here. 1 second. I keep switching.
Okay.
A fake guard here. A fake guard here. You have an approach, but these stables that are this little section here, they seem to have wooden doors that at this distance seem to have a padlock on them.
I want to walk over to one and just knock 3 times on one.
And you can hear behind it the cries of this is more of a humane voice crying out, "I'm hungry, it's dinner time!"
Peepers will slowly back away and act like he didn't knock.
So, does Revlin have any idea what these things might be? What with the amalgam of parts and the...
This, I don't think you... This isn't quite arcane to your understanding. This, to your... I mean, I wouldn't waste your time with an Arcana check. This is not anything magical, I'd say. This is definitely far more disturbing, far more classic kind of gore and horror, I think. As you're
Like Tusk?
far more.
Are we just in the movie Tusk?
Yeah, like looking at it, it's probably much more closer to like a true medicine procedure, a medical procedure, a very Frankenstein-esque.
I'm following them to that door.
The door would close behind you before, like they would have gotten there before you.
I'll open it and look inside.
Let me make sure if it's open behind them. The door would be locked, actually. They'd lock it behind them.
Can I talk more to that thing?
The one without a human mouth?
Correct. I'm gonna go, hey, I've been in your situation, well, kind of, where I've been chained up. So, how about you just answer some yes or no questions for me by nodding your head? Can you do that?
You'll see her blink.
Blink twice if you understand what I'm saying.
As you kind of approach her, you'll see her kind of readjust so that she's always kept opposite of her chain. And she'll just kind of stare at you, transfixed.
Blink twice!
Well, I don't think that's going to work.
Does the door swing inward?
It did, yes.
I'm gonna kick it.
Okay. Roll a strength check.
Peepers is gonna hide behind that first guard tower.
I see you.
19. And my sword is still lit up.
Okay. What difference does that make to a kick?
I'm just letting you know just in case something happens after the door opens.
Oh, okay. I'm not the one looking for a fight.
Yeah.
Okay. The door does not break. What are the rest of you doing?
Hiding.
I know.
Pissed off at this bitch of a bat
Spider
lady.
bat
He's
lady.
a stone cold bitch.
All right. Can I yell out? You have guests here that have many questions that want answering. Please show yourself.
Rapture, Meridel, what are you guys doing?
Maridel's as close to the door as she can be.
She has
The exit?
from
Yeah.
The door away from all of this shenanigans.
Yeah, the way we came in, right?
Revelin goes up to
Rapture's just watching. Can't wait. Sorry.
It's okay. Revelin goes up to Maribel and says, "Have you seen anything like this in your travels here?"
Have you?
No, this is a first.
This is horrible. Like, truly. I've never seen anything. Right, Paige? I mean, it's presumably.
Yeah, I don't think you know.
I don't really know. That's when I just guessed that no. No, this is otherworldly. Otherworldly.
My only question is the abbot, who's renowned for doing good, the one who did this, or is he taking care of something that someone else did?
Is it doing good to just let these creatures wait around for food and maybe suffer? Or is there mercy in maybe having rid the world of problems like this?
I don't know.
This is-
I think I would not make this choice.
I think perhaps you're right.
I put my shield in front of me.
It's no worries. I know it's okay. In between your kicks, Benvolm, and the rest of you kind of spread out across the courtyard of the Abbey. As you ready yourself for another kick, you can see the door opens, and it is not the two figures who originally ran in for the abbot. In front of you seems to be a handsome, clean man in white robes, stoic face. And he smiles. Benvolm, come in. I apologize. They are a little unruly during dinner time.
You know my name.
Of course. Come in.
What is this?
You are in the Abbot of St. Markovia.
What are these beings?
And he kind of turns as he was gesturing you in. You can see on the other side of the door, behind him are the two guards. This is Otto and Siegfried Bellevue. This is the Bellevue family.
All of them?
Yes, all of them. Several generations, in fact. Please come in. We can talk more in detail.
I keep facing the other direction. Keep yelling, "Show yourself!"
Can I inside check him?
Yeah.
To see if
To discern
he's,
what?
If he's trying to lure me into something, like...
Go for it. Yeah.
I'm watching this door.
Okay.
19.
You discern he is being honest and sincere.
I drop my tight shoulders and sheath my sword and look back to everyone and nod and motion them toward me.
Come, all of you. The morning light shines his light on us all.
There's no immediate danger. I think we should talk.
Revelin will move forward.
Peepers will tail the end back from the way they're like covering everyone's back as we back into this building.
Okay.
I'll follow along.
Okay.
I will also walk forward and I will go up to the guy and I'll say, "Yo, this isn't cool. You don't chain people up like this, even if they are a fucking monster thing like that. What are you doing?"
Hugo. Unlike your experience, the Bellevues... Otto, Siegfried, please. Cloven will be here for dinner soon, please. And he kind of excuses them out of the courtyard, and as he enters you on, he goes, "The Bellevues have been plagued with madness, And unfortunately, the only way to protect most of them is to keep them chained. Unfortunate necessity in these times.
Plagued perhaps with something more than madness, if my eyes are to be believed.
That is correct. It was, I forget his name, but it was, this is Paige forgetting his name, not the cool,
Handsome man.
I imagine a Patrick Wilson, maybe just because he just
Of course
looks like
you
a little,
do.
he's a
You
little
always
angel.
Patrick. I have a better example. Hold on. I'm sending a GIF.
Patrick Wilson? Who the fuck is Patrick? Oh.
What?
Sorry, I think you just like offended her sensibilities.
I don't
What a
like him being
shame.
Patrick Wilson.
He's really not a bitch. Alright,
More accurate to what I'm envisioning.
Yeah, please feed my GIF.
Handsome, white robes. Clean.
Sexy Jeff Ramsey with tattoos.
did you really put in Jeff Ramsey?
Click
Yeah.
on the link I sent.
In a priest
He's
robe,
even dressed in priest robes.
but it's sleeveless.
Oh.
Because they got ripped off by the nuns because he has tattoos.
To be fair, he got sleeves anyway.
Hey.
I'm sorry, but it was the several generations ago where the patriarch of the Bellevue family was onslaught by his madness and thought the best way to develop and grow his family was to seek alternative enhancements, and it's just kind of spun out of control from there.
They do this to themselves willingly.
Most have been doing this to themselves, but now it predates most of this generation. Though its origins are certainly disturbed, many of the Bellevues have been born like this. But
Can I insight check him?
yeah,
They were born this way.
I will still say because of its unnaturalness, it is still desecration. But yeah, that's why
Natural 20.
He is telling the truth, actually.
Oh, fuck.
In speaking about the Bellevues, it seems that he's speaking honestly.
And the born this way and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's not how genetics work.
Yeah, I know.
But okay.
We're playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Hey, I'm just throwing it out there, alright?
Genetics.
There are a few things I understand, and that
My analytical brain does not
Trust me.
comprehend how this is possible.
Right.
Reading
Suspend
this
disbelief.
section of the book today was like, this will be interesting.
How much do you know about stem cells?
nothing.
Wait, are you asking in character? I'm sorry.
Kelly's like, guys, a lot.
Everyone at home watching.
Kelly knows a
Smart.
lot about this. Yeah. Kelly has studied this stuff, I promise.
All right.
Okay, and you'll see the abbot welcomes you all in if you all begin to follow.
Yep.
Opens up. Come on, reveal yourself. I love that little patch of black where it's like, fuck you. Okay. The abbot motions you all into what seems to be, this side of the wing holds a main hall. You can hear gentle sounding music trickling down from above, played on a single stringed instrument by some unseen master. The ground floor is one large 50-foot square room with arched, leaded glass windows.
It's leaded.
Leaded, I knew
Yeah.
it. I said it right one time, didn't I?
No. It's okay. There are great decorations in this room, I can
I
see.
mean, he leaded us in here.
He leaded you into the leaded glass windows and through them, and now you're falling 5,000 feet. Jump, jump. Okay.
I turned into a goldfish.
I cast Featherfall.
Yeah.
I turned into a goldfish.
We are golden gods. A cauldron sits on an iron rack above a fire in a hearth, while above the fireplace mantel hangs a golden disc engraved with the symbol of the sun. In one corner, a wooden staircase climbs to the upper level, while in another corner, a stone staircase descends into darkness. Several chairs surround a wooden table that stretches nearly the length of the room. Wooden dishware and golden candelabras are neatly arranged on the table, standing behind which is a young woman. with alabaster skin, dressed in a torn and slightly soiled red gown. Her auburn hair is neatly bundled so as not to touch her soft shoulders. She seems lost in her own thoughts.
Does she look like anybody we know?
At this distance, she looks a lot like your girl Irina. Definitely with the auburn hair.
Damn it. What?
Um,
What was Irina wearing last time we saw her?
Rocks.
The time before that?
I think just traveling clothes. She was with Sasha, so.
As you all walk in, you can see the abbot seems to return to the place he was when his two guards, Otto and Siegfried, found him. And it's on the other side of the table. So he would walk. The woman is sitting right in front of the right around here, right in front of the hearth. You'll see him walk up, begin to sit down, and he'll say, "Basilica, let us continue with our lessons." And you'll see her. You'll see him gesture across the way in the chair, and you'll see her pull out the chair, kind of return to his focus and sit down. And you'll hear him start to, while he's waiting for you all to join him, you'll see him start to explain. On the left-hand side of the plate, you will see you have a salad and a knife, and you'll see him kind of ramble off into the basic etiquettes of dining.
While he's doing that, I pull Peepers aside.
Okay.
And I whisper down, "Peepers, we were told that we would find something that we needed in the house of the saint behind the sun. I think this may be the place that we're looking for. And that sun, I'd say, nodding towards the hearth, may be the sun that we are looking for. I don't know if it'll be necessary, but you may need to stealthily take a hold of whatever it is that's behind that sun.
It's a good blade.
It could be."
Oh my gosh, that was such a Captain America response.
What was the family's name again?
Bellevue's.
Bellevue.
Okay, Peepers will nod, and he'll casually, real cash, sit in this seat at the end of the table.
Okay.
So I asked that. I'm assuming you're the abbot.
Yes.
How do you know? How do you know our names? I'm assuming you were expecting us.
Yes, the Morning Lord speaks to me. And he
Oh, you're one of those. Oh, right. This makes sense. You are an abbot.
He kind of
Abbey.
smiles. He smiles knowingly.
So, we were told we need to find you. So, what you got for us?
You were told to find me.
Yeah, there was like this Vistani chick that like told us to come here because we're trying to kill Strahd.
Okay.
And
Throw our shit out there, Cal. Why don't you?
my friends say that this chick told us to come find you.
Okay. Hugo.
Reverend,
He just started Toastmasters. I'm sorry.
Reverend looks up in horror from whispering to...
To be discreet.
Yeah, we're like talking to the side. Here's Hugo.
You'll see the abbot smile to you, Hugo, and you'll see him similarly with kind of guidance gesture you to the chair to the right of him, the seat of honor, actually in etiquette, and you'll see him say,
Hugo does not know that.
I know. I don't know why I added that flavor, but
For all of us.
He'll say, Hugo, how long have you been here in Barovia?
I think like 4 days, maybe. I don't know. No, I've been longer. Not long. But I'd like to leave.
I've been here in Markovia trying to right the wrong of this land for over 100 years.
How is that physically possible?
What does he look like?
He looks like a normal man, maybe in his early 30s.
Paige said he was hot.
He is
He's
hot,
hot, so he's
very handsome.
young. So that we're fucking hateful people.
Kayleen established that he looked like Jeff, and I thought that was canon.
The Morning
Yeah.
Lord, he speaks with this calm, reassuring, warm voice. The Morning Lord has blessed me with his goal. To help, to aid.
Divine sense?
What?
Him.
What is,
Consecrated.
he is not consecrated. What is it? Being
Consecrated,
celestial.
desecrated,
No,
being
that
celestial.
would be
one
what
day.
he was, but I can also tell I guess you might have stretched it a little bit saying that the flesh was desecrated or whatever, but I was gonna see if the flesh was consecrated, like
The-
he's saying it is, of him.
His flesh isn't consecrated, but you do sense that he is not human. He is celestial.
Oh my god!
What does Rapture think about him?
I was not expecting that.
I don't know. I don't know. What does Rapture think of it?
I don't know. Is this the only other Celestial she's like? I guess I'm asking you about my backstory, but like, is this the only Celestial she's encountered since she's been here? Like,
Definitely.
would we have known? Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
I dropped.
You don't know this yet, obviously. I mean, but
Ah,
I dropped to my
intrigued.
knees. I drop to my knees and say, "Who are you?"
I serve in the Morning Lord's light.
I see it all around you. I've never met. Someone from the other plane in the flesh.
Ben von Rise, there's no reason. The Morning Lord will speak to you as well. We all follow different paths, but your path is right. It's righteous.
Keepers is gonna slip under the table
Okay, good.
and try to hide, and
Okay.
then once he thinks he's hidden, he'll try to skirt slowly over.
Okay,
don't know
roll
if
a
you need
stealth
me to-
check for me.
Please be good. No, it's not good. It's 13.
Okay.
That's with a plus 10, guys. So
Holy shit.
Oh, wow.
it was bad.
Where were we? I'm sorry. What's else going on?
I said, we're here to kill Strahd,
Oh,
and we were
that's
told to find you.
And I'm still on my knees.
He gestures for you to rise.
I
It's,
know.
I know. Okay. He'll turn back. He'll turn his attention back to you, Hugo. And as he turns to you, Hugo, you can see his eyes kind of wander across the table, and you see him make the faintest eyesight to you, Peepers.
Damn it.
You can do what you will, but you can see him kind of look over to you and then return his focus back to Hugo.
Peepers is gonna just keep going along with the mission.
Okay.
Start digging around back there if he can.
Hugo, you are underestimated.
I feel that inside, yes.
And you're I hate to be so blunt, but you are hard on yourself for your wisdom.
Uh-huh.
But if I were to give you the wisdom of the Morning Lord, would you I see you go doing that.
No.
I just love the idea of, he starts talking about giving you the Morning Light wisdom and he's like,
Nah, good.
if I were to tell you what the Morning Lord is advising of me, would you hear me out?
I'll listen to you,
I respect that, and I
but I
respect
make
you.
no promises.
I have been trying to rid this land of evil for 100 years. Aiding the ill with the goals of St. Markovia, who blessed this land and protected this people for years before the mist corrupted the land. But what I've learned is that Strahd cannot be destroyed.
Okay, well that's
Why?
This land's cursed him. Almost like there's a curse of Strahd. That's where it comes from.
Wow.
No, there's a curse on him, and I believe this land and most of its inhabitants are here purely to live within that curse, to trap him, to make him relive his mistakes, to torture him, and thus torture everyone else inside of it.
He has not cursed the land, then.
He controls it. It all works under his command.
But the curse is on him.
Correct.
Who cursed him?
That is far harder of a question to answer than a simple god or deity. There are dark powers that stand beyond the Morning Lord and the rest of celestial plane. There is something far greater that he's pledged to that traps him for his mistakes. I've learned a lot of him, and I fear the only way to rid this world of its evil is to pacify him, to give him what he wants in a controlled sense.
If you're
Tatiana.
talking about Irina, I think he may have her, because we lost her.
And you can see, as you're kind of telling him this, the woman across from him, who he called Vasilica, you can see she drops a fork, and he turns back his attention to her. Vasilica, with your right hand, pick it up. Yes, good, good. I understand his infatuation with this woman, Tatiana. I believe if I can provide him a spouse like Vasilica, we could pacify that urge, keep an innocent woman safe, and control Strahd with his main focus, love.
That begs the question, what is that woman then who's crossing you?
That is an excellent question, Meridell. Meridell, roll a perception check for me.
Does Peeper find anything while he's ruffling through the...
You continue to climb the mantle?
Yeah, you said he went back to focus, so I said the mission continues, man.
Okay. So you're gonna try to climb the mantle?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna as quietly as I fucking can. I mean,
I got a 21.
Okay. Okay, there's two things happening at once, so give me 1 second.
I
And
Do peepers first.
no, it's okay. Peepers, as you approach, you kind of climb on top of the fireplace, and the hearth is warm underneath it, so you kind of scurry up the stone mantle on the side of it. You get on top of it, and you kind of turn your shoulder, and you can see behind you, staring, I mean, technically facing you directly.
yeah, totally.
But
No,
he's
I
staring-
know.
Yeah, okay.
I know.
And as you kind of look up wide-eyed, you can see that this disc, this golden sun disc that sits on top of the mantle, is finely made, easily a treasure on its own. You would have to... Are you going to try to take it off the wall?
I'm gonna cast my mage hand and try to just shift it back to see if there's anything behind it.
Okay. As you use your mage hand and you shift it, you can see that as you shift it off the wall behind it, you can see there is like a little niche, little hole inside of it. It's dark. You can see that there's something hidden behind it.
With one finger, he's gonna try to hold it up with one, not his real hand, his mage hand.
Mm-hmm.
Hold it back and then press the button, or like press into the hole or something.
Okay, so as the hand...
Is that what it was? Is it a hole?
It's like a little hole behind the disc. Yes.
Yeah, he's gonna try to press it.
Okay, as the disc kind of rises and the hand kind of works itself in, it kind of closes behind it, and the invisible hand kind of disappears behind it. You, with your arcane sense, you can feel it. It grabs hold of something. It seems to be a glass vial at first.
I'm gonna grab it and slowly start my hand backing up.
Okay, so you see the disc starts to lift, and your mage hand, pulls out what looks to be a vial, a potion of some kind. And as you're like eagerly reaching out to grasp it, I guess your eagerness kind of pulls it quickly, and the disc starts to lift off the nail it hangs off of. And it's about to fall. I need you to make a quick dexterity saving throw to catch it.
I got this shit.
We're all literally
great.
staring at you all this long.
Dex, you said? Dex?
Yes.
26.
Okay.
Not 18.
You quickly lean off the side as it starts to fall and catch it, and quickly put it back on the hook. And the mage hand comes to you and hands you what looks to be a healing potion.
Cool, I'll put it in my bag.
Okay.
I turn to Revlin. Does he see me?
Yeah, he would definitely see you.
We all saw you.
Well, so y'all talking. I'll just turn to Revlin and give him a thumbs up.
I'll give him a little thumbs up back.
And I'll slowly try to like put my little bird arms and try to hang my feet off the edge and see if I can touch the ground.
You can't. You can.
I start panicking a little.
Real subtle, peepers.
I'll walk around and like pick him up like you do a toddler and put him on the ground.
Yeah.
Great. And when he does it, I'll nod at him and then scurry under the table again.
Okay. All right.
And then resume my end chair eventually.
Good.
That's it.
And Meridel, what were you saying at this time? I'm so sorry.
I pointed out. I asked what that woman across from him was then,
Okay, you rolled a perception check, right?
and I got a 21.
21. On closer inspection, although you're not within like 5 feet of her, as you look at her across the table, you notice very thin line that kind of rests on her shoulder on the other side of where the red dress sits, and you notice that it's very subtle, delicately placed stitches. Give me 1 second, I'm looking at something right now.
Oh god. I hate this place so much.
I'm sorry guys, give me 1 second, I'm still looking into something. Why is it?
I didn't know we signed on for the Dooku when we picked Curse of Strahd.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, it is that, okay.
No Dark Universe in the Dark Universe, guys.
And Revlin, as you carried Peepers down and he kind of shows you the potion he grabbed, you remember the reading from Mata Ava, and it specifically said that the second card that alerted you of this location.
Awfully symbol.
Yes, it described
Yeah.
a powerful force of good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope.
I'd sit down next to Peepers and just kind of like try to subtly write. Was there anything else? Question mark.
Peepers, you're muted.
You're muted, bro.
Sorry, apologies. I'll twist my notebook in a way that it's kind of split between us, but it'll be like a kid writing notes in class. Try and act like they're paying attention, but they're writing notes. I'll say I found a vial behind the sun. I almost dropped it, but I caught it. All good.
Okay. As that's happening, go ahead. You guys can keep. Go ahead.
All right. Could you feel anything else in there?
DM, no, right?
You didn't. The first thing the mage hand grabbed onto, I just grabbed was the potion. I don't know.
Checked. Oh, grab the first thing I felt, and then I'll start moving back to the mantle.
Meridel, as you question the abbot about the female on the other side of the table, you can see you've noticed this faint stitching, and you'll see him kind of stand up. He'll begin to work his way to the other side of the table, and he'll place either shoulder on her, and he'll say, "She is a great creation of the Morning Lord, and she will right the wrongs that Strahd has done to Barovia." And as you kind of see her pat he'll pat her shoulder and he'll tell her something about the correct way to hold a wine glass that's in front of her. You see he'll kind of mimic his direction. You'll see him turn around to the mantle, and he'll look up, and he'll pick up the disc, and you'll see him reach in and pull out something from behind the disc, and it'll look to be this statue, small within the hand. And as Peepers, as you're standing up already, he goes, "Here, I think you need this, Peepers." And he'll hand that to you, and he'll continue to talk.
Can I even hold it? Am I big enough?
Yeah, you'll hold it. It's pretty hefty, but you can hold it within your hands, and it looks to be like I said, the statue the size of a hand. Oh, sorry, no, that's not right. I'm thinking of a different thing. It looks to be a holy symbol that you'd wear around your neck. It has the sun on it. It's metal, and this chain on it is gold. And I can share it now, actually.
What is it made out of itself? Just curiosity.
Do you see that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's pretty.
That's cool.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a necklace or is it like a hanging?
It's a holy symbol necklace, so you'd wear it around your neck.
Peepers puts that bad boy on, my dude.
Huh?
Peepers puts that bad boy on, my dude.
Okay. I mean, nothing happens right away. It does require attunement.
Peepers, I can identify that for you if you'd like.
And as the abbot kind of continues to stand over this woman, you'll hear him say that Peepers is the holy symbol of Ravenkind. It is a sacred blessing here in Barovia. It protects the good, pushes away the evil, and it is only to those who follow in the Morning Lord's light.
I'll kind of sadly look down at it and then take it off.
It's okay. Though it is not time for you to wear the blessed symbol, it will still protect you, as does the Morning Lord.
Peepers, may I get a better feel for what exactly that does?
I pull up my notebook. We all agree who gets it.
We'll all agree who gets it.
My vote counts twice.
Oh my god.
Don't get greedy, Peepers.
Hands you. Holy
Okay.
symbol.
And while there are lessons going on, I'll ritual cast Identify.
For 10 minutes?
Yep.
Okay.
I walk over to the abbot and say, I feel like I've almost lost my oath here. I walked into your abbey, and from experience out in the world here, I've immediately drew my weapon and lit it with holy flame. I could hardly conceive of what we were seeing be anything but fiendish or undead, beyond saving.
My son. I know it is a dark time. And the darkness even pulls in on myself. But you must always remember the Morning Lord and his light. And let him guide you as he guides me. And as he kind of draws and he puts his arm on your shoulder, your divine sense, which lasts a couple minutes, right?
It says until the end of the turn.
Okay. Well, even when you first cast it, I should have said it then, but even now as you're standing in front of him, he is celestial. And as you kind of stand and he kind of reassures you, as Meridel has begun to question, the origins of this woman, you can see that she is desecrated as well.
What happened to her?
I created her. From the dirt, from the ground. As the Morning Lord asked me to do. as a sacrifice to prevent Strahd from harming innocent, true life.
Do I know of any examples of sacrifice like that?
Roll a religion check for me.
Jesus.
On the page while this is happening.
Yes.
Good Peepers have also just handed the potion that he grabbed from the hidden compartment to Revlin for this identify.
Not a problem. Yep.
Okay, I'm sure Colin will say fine to that. I just want to be clear.
For each, because he's ritual casting it, he would do 10 minutes on the symbol and 10 minutes separately on the potion, but not a problem. Yeah. If
I'll let him know that I handed it to him. He can decide if he's identifying it or not.
11.
It's still enough, actually. From what he tells you, this alerts you. In all of your practices of what the priesthood has taught you from where you came from in Lothander, this does not sound at all what the Morning Lord intends for. This is desecration. And to your understanding that what he's describing to you is the mutilation of people after they've died.
A sacrifice.
Yes. Though it is not the ideal choice, it is better than a true life.
You've lost me, Abbott. You pulled her from the ground. You mean like you pulled her bones from the ground?
Well, I pulled her skin, her hair, her legs, her arm, her heart. They all come from every aspect of the world that is good.
From Ryza's grandson?
I'm sorry?
Ryza.
Well, I certainly wouldn't use a grandson, but to some extent, yes. It is the only way, Benville. Would you rather sacrifice a real, living, breathing, good person? We've laid them to rest.
And you've brought them back.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt your conversation here, but does she feel pain? Can she think? Is she breathing?
She is one of many attempts. But I believe she is the closest thing to humanity. And you see his hand kind of graze her cheek.
Right, that's a live thing then. I'm not sending that into the clutches of this Strahd guy.
Is she made from the bones from...
I still need to teach her, the right ways, the etiquette, how to impress and charm, but I think once our lessons are over, she will be exactly what Strahd needs. To distract him, to keep him focused on what he needs, which is love and affection, and not torture and harm and pain and sadness and grief.
Insight check, is he sane?
I think that's an insight check.
Paige,
Yes.
can I start casting illusionary script?
Yes.
I want it to look like a drawing of Peepers and the pretty auburn hair girl, and just saying like me and Peepers, but in it I'm gonna write, we can help you, we can get you out of here, blink twice.
I need you to make a sleight of hand check because you are trying to do it without the
Totally.
Insight check for you, Bendel?
6.
Hell yeah.
Insight check before about the Bellevue family, I felt like he was being honest.
Correct,
Yeah.
yes. What did you roll on that insight check?
6.
What is his charisma mod? He rolled low.
I rolled a nat 19 plus 10, it's 29.
Okay.
Oh. And he's drawing a cute picture, I mean, come on.
You're not able to tell, unfortunately. He rolled low, but his modifier put it above 6. So what do you do, Peepers, with the illusionary script?
It takes a minute to cast it, so I'd be drawing for a minute. Once I heard him talk about teaching her to be perfect, I would just start drawing this picture. of the two of them, like, you know, a cute, innocent kid picture. And then in that message, I would say blink twice. And I would just slide it to her with a smile on my face. And then I would just stare at her.
All right. So as you pass it, you can see that you can see her repeatedly trying to pick up the glass. You'll see her maneuver trying to raise the pinky, lower the pinky, put it down. And she'll put her hands back to her waist and do it again. And maybe occasionally she'll bring it to her lips. Put it down, try it again. This time bring it to her lips and smile. And she looks over at your paper. And she looks over at you and she stares and her head kind of cocks and turns. Then she kind of looks back up to the abbot. She turns back to the glass and lifts it, raises it, brings it to her lips. And you should see her look back up to the abbot. And occasionally in between this conversation, you'll always see his focus kind of turns to acknowledge her and he'll nod. Always keeping her kind of as a priority, looking and acknowledging her to continue what he's telling her. But she doesn't seem to acknowledge the message you've deciphered in this hidden message.
Okay. Just to be clear, I would have had my whole party able to read what I wrote, but not the abbot. Just to be clear.
Okay.
I walk over to Revlin and say, I feel fogged and confused. I can't get a read on the sky, but I've never heard of bones being pulled from the ground in a ritual of Lathander.
Am I still in the throes of spell casting?
Yeah, I mean, this is minutes apart. I'd say we can get the first ritual cast on the symbol done, and then you could address them. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Cool, let's get into that first. So, with the identify, let me see if I can show this to you. Oh, actually, the notes. Okay, I'll just.
You can send it to the group.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta edit it because I gotta move it all from the GM notes up to like the viewable notes.
Mm-hmm.
You already have access to the picture. You'll see its abilities present itself. But as I'm doing that, you identify this, as you said, to be the holy symbol of Ravenkind. It is a wondrous item, legendary in rareness. It does require attunement, and it's the rare, very rare time, I don't like to do this as a DM, but it's a rare time, it does require attunement of good alignment by a cleric or a paladin. And here are its abilities. If you guys, I can show it to you guys one more time if you need it. Show to players. And now
this is when Peeper starts multi-classing.
Correct. And you should see below it now, you should see what it does, its abilities. Tell me if you cannot see that.
We can see it.
Perfect. So it does have a couple charges to it. It regains its charges daily at dawn. The 3 abilities include Hold Vampires, Turn Undead, and Sunlight.
Okay.
Each one requires a certain amount of charges, but it's pretty much a vampire repellent and vampire killer.
I relate this information to... Well, no, I guess I won't do that right now. And I'll say, sorry, what? Bones? What just happened?
This woman is a construct of bones pulled from the ground.
Is everyone familiar with like the idea of golems or flesh golems? Is everyone familiar with like the idea of golems or?
I would say you're familiar with them. You understand. Not that you've done the process of creating a golem, but you know how it's done and how it acts and how it follows the command of its creator, technically speaking. Yeah.
Are you saying that she's a golem? Or something akin to it?
I don't know if I would
Does Benville know what golems are? I don't know as much on the Benville side. I mean, you can decipher that golem means a construct.
Uh-huh.
So you can decipher that as you go, yeah.
I'll look up to the abbot. Are you a mage as well as a cleric?
No, only a holy man, but the Morning Lord has spoken to me and told me how to work the life and the will of his life, his glory. God, I'm so bad at doing religious glorified speech. He told me how to awaken her spirit, and after several attempts, she is the closest thing I have found to human light.
Peepers will turn his notebook over and ask, why do you want to help us?
Peepers, are you a good person?
He shrugs.
You doubt it, but you are. Do you mean to harm? Do any of you mean to harm? Do you mean to harm me? The Bellevues? Basilica?
Strahd.
That is a harder one to decipher. And I don't blame you for trying, and you're welcome to it. The Morning Lord puts us all on our own path, but I fear your path will end sooner if you try that way.
We all must do what we think is right. I don't find your choice to my taste.
I didn't expect you would, Reverend. But I can understand that. If you were even willing to conceive of my idea, I would ask a favor of you all. You are welcome to stay here. I have safe and comfortable lodging if you need a place to rest here in the Abbey. Basilica is almost ready to be presented to Strahd, and I want her to be at her best. I've been thinking of giving her a garment, maybe a wedding dress to present her to him. I ask if you find anything like that, perhaps you could bring it here and we could ready Basilica for perhaps... You say this woman, this Tatiana woman is in his possession. Perhaps we could negotiate an exchange. The perfect woman for an innocent soul.
What bones hold her standing?
I'm sorry?
Basilica, what bones hold her standing?
Well, I believe there was a young woman who died about a decade ago. That is her left arm and the torso. A young woman died a few years ago from the fever. That's where I got her scalp.
I apologize, sir, but that's far too much information
I'm
for
sorry.
me.
Unfortunately, I have the air of honesty. So, you ask, I provide.
Let's leave that off the
She makes
table.
up the presence of many here. She's not just of one origin.
She accounts for the empty graves throughout Kresk.
She accounts for some of them. My attempts at humanity account for the others.
There are people at the base of your mountain praying to the Morning Lord, praying for your help to find their missing loved ones.
You are good. Benvom, if I were to tell you that many of the people here lack that soul, that light, let's say the pieces of Basilica that make her were not of somebody with that light, would it be such a crime to you then? If they lacked a soul, if they were never born with it, if they were here to be purely play toys to Strahd, but they lacked the Morning Lord's guidance to make them what he seeks, would they be disturbed in their afterlife if I were to take them apart like this?
Those who I feel are lost beyond help, I have sent to the Morning Lord. and let him guide them. I have not taken their bodies and reconstituted them. There is a soul somewhere for each of them. Whether or not it is lost, it's my duty for it to be found.
He nods, he smiles at you. He turns to you, Rapture. You seem sullen.
Just observing. I'm not knowledgeable of the holy gods of which you both speak.
But you serve one. Not the
I
Morning
serve
Lord.
someone, but mostly myself.
Roll a deception check, Rapture.
Okay. Hold on, I'll keep my rolling my dice thing. It's the soap dish from Leap Attack. Alright. Oh, deception, you said?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever rolled deception.
I don't think you have either.
17 and then 23.
Yep. Okay.
Oh wow.
He nods.
Can I know we established, or I don't actually know, I guess, that he's celestial, like, but is he an Azamar?
He is not, but I don't think you'd be able to distinguish.
I would say, would I know that? Okay.
Mm-mm. I mean, based off the context of Ben Volm's reaction to him, you can tell he's definitely otherworldly, but you wouldn't be able to recognize, the race necessarily as an Asimar. But good
Because
question.
he reminds me of other people who are so obsessed with their god. Reminds me of my parents.
I would say, based on your backstory, his attitude would certainly remind you of certain people. Yeah, definitely.
Could I have insight checked his claim that not everyone in Barovia has a soul?
Totally, yeah. Roll an insight check on that.
Yeah, I'm sucking at this because Yetta's mind is spinning, but Peepers literally doesn't give a shit. So it sucks.
That is an 18.
Okay. Ooh, it's a tie, but I'm going to give it to you. You are able to discern that he is speaking truthfully. That is something he believes. That not all people here in Barovia have souls.
How is such a thing possible, to be born without a soul?
This place that many are confined to is a construct of evil power, dark powers that created this realm strictly to punish Strahd for his mistakes. I think most of the people in here are just blimps in his consciousness. Things to fill the void, to make it real, to make it hurt. And a couple have that glimmer of light in them, and those are worth redeeming. And those who wander in here and try to fix things are worth redeeming. But I think the bulk of them lack that depth.
I look at my bonded ring and say, Barovia is hell.
Something close to it, which is why I was sent here. I understand you have...
If that's the case, do all the more important.
I understand you have a lot to think about. This isn't something I had minutes to think over. I've had years. So, please, you are welcome to stay here. You're welcome to return to Kresk. As I work with Vasilica and make her ready for Strahd, you all can come to whatever decision you need to. I understand we potentially could work down different paths. But please, take the symbol. It could aid you.
Thank you for your generosity. I hesitate to speak for the party, but I think we may wish to return to Kresk. I look around at my party to see if they kind of nod in assent.
Yeah.
Before we go, have you seen a Vistani woman?
Yes. Yeah, I have.
Yetta?
When did you last see her?
No, her name is not Yetta. She is staying here. We keep her protected here at the Abbey.
Could we meet her, please?
Of course, yes. She is down the other wing, the upper floor, in a bedroom off the courtyard.
Thank you for your generosity and your hospitality.
Of course.
Is Otto still in the room?
No, he excused them when you all entered, actually. So besides the Revengers, it is just the Abbot and Basilica, this woman at the table.
Okay.
I think we will excuse ourselves for the moment.
What is the name of this Vistana?
Esmeralda.
Esmeralda.
Yes.
Okay, Hunchback.
I'm sorry?
Okay, Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah, have any of these watchtower people have they had like weird hunches anywhere? Or
These would be the gargoyles.
All of them.
Bells,
Literally
bells,
all of them.
Bells, bells, bells of Notre. All right. Don't do the high note. Leave them waiting for next week because it's 11 o'clock.
No, we keep playing.
We will.
So 11, make a wish.
Yeah, we'll pick up. It's 11:11. Make a wish that we don't all die in this fucking terrifying place. No, but we'll pick up as you guys continue to explore the Abbey and potentially meet this stunning woman that you've heard tell in some card readings. That was the Abbot. And that was the Abbey, or some of it.
that was creepy.
This is so fucked, bro.
I think both Victoria and Rapture believe this, but that guy maybe needs to die.
I like
love this. I love this moral dilemma we're all in. It's so good.
Hundo P, the Raven Queen, would not like him.
Oh, hell no!
Which is why I'm glad the deception check worked. Also, lies should go through Rapture. That was a great fucking roll.
Yo, the fuck? I was like, yo, this could change the scenario big time if Rapture's like, fuck you!
Yeah.
Rapture just loses her
All
cool.
of a sudden, just like goes off on someone.
This is like Rapture's whole backstory revealed.
Yeah.
Like a one-on-one murder death of like this Abbot.
Rapture, should you decide to take that course, Merida will back you up 100%.
Cool. See you next week.
In my head, I was just picturing the gif of Leslie Knope, where she's just like, no! That's Rapture in the corner, like, listening to this bullshit. Alright, we will pick up next week. Yeah, let's say goodbye to the internet.
Good night, Internet.
Bye, Internet.